call this meeting of Jasper Board Mayor and Alderman to order. If everyone would please stand, former Mayor Donnie Rogers will lead us in prayer and the pledge of allegiance.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this opportunity we have to gather here as a free people to enjoy this meeting of our community, of our town. We ask thy blessings upon each and every one here. Ask your blessings upon this board. Be with them and the decisions they make. May they make the decisions that will benefit as a whole this community. We're thankful to live in a free country where we can come and participate in these meetings to voice our opinions. It's our prayer that we all do so in a civil manner. We ask that you be with us all, especially be with the ones that in our country now suffered from devastation, floods, and other problems. May they get the benefit of the assistance needed to get their lives somewhat back together. Be with us all through the further exercise of this service. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Yeah. Hey. You're still mayor, but thank you. First item on the agenda, approval of minutes of August 14th, 2017.
Motion to approve the minutes of August 14th.
Motion and second approve the minutes of August 14th, 2017. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Next item is approval of ordinance 379 on the second reading. It pertains to mayor's salary and alderman's salary. It's a 1% increase over last year.
Make a motion.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion to second approve ordinance 379 second reading. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Next item is ordinance 380, and what this does is adopt the International Building Code 2015 edition, where we're under the 2006 edition. State, we have to update every 7 years, isn't it?
Yes, sir, every 7 years.
And what this does also is, as recommended by the building inspector, is put in a home, adopting the home improvement license law as set forth in TCA 62-6-501. And it's what it does allow the handyman or, home improvement, they don't have to be a licensed contractor. They can get this license. It's $125 a year, $250 for 2 years, and you're covered under the state and national building codes. So it is recommended by the building inspector, and I recommend it to the board.
Make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and second to approve ordinance 380 on the first reading. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
I'm against it. Is that 332 and 380 go together? Or is it,
Amend 332. 332 was the adoption of the 2006 international.
okay, I'll go for 380.
So,
380's the update on that.
update. Yeah.
Okay.
Next is, you have two resolutions here, and what it has to do with state revolving loan on the sewer rehab. And I thought we'd already approved these resolutions, but and the reason there's two of them is because it's two different loans, and so a total of $750,000, and so first one is, resolution 2017-09-11-01, and I recommend this to the board. Have a motion, do I have a second? Have a motion and a second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Next is a resolution 02, and, this one of the loans is for $599,000, and the other one is $150,529, so, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve resolution 02, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We'll slow down here. The next item is the approval of donation of $750 to the high school bass tournament. And South Pittsburgh is approving this, Whitwell is, and we have 6 students at Marion County High School fishing on the Whitwell High School bass team. And so they're trying to raise $3,000 for this tournament. They're actually having it, and this has really been taken off big in high school. It's you can actually receive scholarships for them, full scholarships. So, and I recommend that we do this. We do have the money. So,
Make a motion to approve.
have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And this tournament is on the 23rd of September. So if anybody wants
This
to
is
be out-
TSSAA sport.
Yes.
Uh,
So,
Just for what
it-
it's
no,
worth.
it's a TSSAA sanctioned, it's not, they're not, I don't know how it's, but yes, it's, they approve it, and you can actually, like I said, the last year or year before last, David Lowry's son won a scholarship because he won the high school tournament out in Texas. And it's a tournament where you, as you progress as the season goes on, so.
Well, Bryan College up in Dayton, they've won the national championship this past year. Matter of fact, 2 kids from Bryan were in the finals. It's really come on, a lot of interest and a lot of people participate.
I hope it gets to the point that we can actually have a team here at Marion County High School. Like I said, we have 6 students fishing with the Whitwell team. And what it takes is have captains, which is usually parents, a parent is going to be out there. My nephew's son is, you know, he's, was into football and now he's into fishing and he loves it. And so, next, we have our paving list, and you have amounts on there from the Marion County Highway Department, and you know, you got Phillips Avenue, Mimosa, Cash Road, 7th Street, and as an option, Danny Drive. So, you know, the total price tag of this is $110,184. That's through the Marion County Highway Department. That included Danny Drive. And so, we were looking to get another price to compare with. I don't have it yet, so, you know. But we're running out of time to get at least some of it done because they'll be closing the asphalt plant when it turns cold, so.
I think we need to move forward. I make a motion to approve.
Well, excuse me, I want to say something, please.
If you'll state your name and.
My name is Gina Campbell.
Okay.
From this, I was wondering how I live over here on, Phillips Avenue. But I think the streets over there are Maple and Elm that go to the schools. They're in worse shape than a lot of these that really need to be fixed. If you turn off on Maple, all the way from Maple down to the corner of Third, it's just a mess. And the school buses have changed routes coming down Third now. Well, when you get to Third in Maple, that is a four-way stop. But people going straight on Maple usually don't stop. They're running that stop sign. I've seen buses almost get hit 2 or 3 times trying to come out there from going to school.
Let me stop right. First of all, the reason Maple is not on there, it's under this sewer rehab grant. It's gotta be dug up.
Yeah.
And so there's no need of going ahead and resurfacing that we're gonna be digging that thing up here in the next month or so. So that is the reason it's not on there. It will be resurfaced, but it'll be a part of the sewer rehab and not just paving.
Okay, and will Elm also that goes down to the school?
Uh,
Because both of those roads that go to the school are in terrible shape for the buses.
Elm will not be on it, as of right now. It could be on it at, spring. We've got $150,000 in the budget for paving this year. This is $110,000. That leaves us $40,000 to start off next year before our budget process starts to end, so that we can, once they open the asphalt plants back up, we'll have something for
Well, can
that.
something be done to the corner, right there at the corner of Third and Maple? For those buses coming down through there?
That's what I'm telling you, that's part of this sewer rehab.
No, I
Try to
mean
do it
Third and
right
Maple,
now.
that's on Second and Maple.
And 30 Maple is also part of it, that's right down there on the corner.
Right, where my mother, but I'm talking about, if I'm
I-
going to the school on this side,
Yes, ma'am.
where all of it's grown up, when the buses
I-
stop at this stop sign.
Yes, ma'am, I know
They're
where
gonna-
30 Maple is, and that's part of this sewer rehab problem.
But I mean-
Maple Street is this sewer rehab.
The entire Maple Street.
Most of Maple Street.
But what I'm saying is, when the buses are taking Third Street down to go to the schools now, because the other road is so bad, they don't go down that one anymore. They're going down in front of the Baptist church, and they're going through that stop sign. When they go to the other one on the corner of Third and Maple, the property that's there on the right is so overgrown, you can't see, even though it's a four-way stop, you can't see around it. And a lot of people run that stop sign, and I've seen school buses that stop, but the snub nose, so there's nothing sticking out. And when they start to pull out, there's cars coming down there just flying, but they can't see them coming for the overgrowth there. That needs to be, I know, they had one of the mowers come down the other day and try to hold that blade thing up and go down that fence line, but there's a chain link fence there, so it really can't cut anything. But that needs to be cleared where the buses can see.
Well,
You just have it checked.
it will, you will have to check on that and see, but the Maple Street, once Maple Street is repaired under this sewer rehab, then we can see what is actually left to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm just worried about the buses
So,
that's, normally they didn't come down that street, and since they've started coming, there's more traffic coming this way, and somebody's gonna get hit. Right through there.
I hope we don't,
Yeah.
and where's Officer Jordan?
He's in there printing.
Oh, okay, so I'll direct him to, have the officers check that, starting in the morning.
Okay, I appreciate it, because it really is a hazard.
So, but, yeah, and one, like I said, we can't do anything until this sewer rehab is, completed. Then, I don't wanna throw, good money after bad, you know what I mean, just to tear it back up again.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I didn't know that they had that on the thing, and I was just wondering.
So, thank you.
As new to the board, I just have a question. If we're committed to paying $150,000 a year toward paving, have we ever considered doing a capital outlay project where we could borrow $1 million and really fix roads and just pay that toward the loan versus pave this road this year, this road next year, this road year after that? I mean, have we ever looked at that?
We haven't, and the reason is we've been trying to pay as we go on everything, and, you know, we refinanced the debt service right, and that's gonna save quite a bit of money over a 12-year period, and, you know, within the next 4 years, we should have, I know we'll have our, garbage truck paid off. We'll have, pretty close to having that sewer line out to Love's paid off. That's gonna free up, 97,000, almost $98,000. So that would be the time, to me, the time to look at that, and after this audit, too, we have two more, loans that are coming up, that I think we can expedite paying those off, because our principal and interest is, to the point that we could double up on bills. And that's what I'm trying to do, is pay as we go, and so when we get rid of debt service, we can do a lot more, because we've got, equipment that's gonna have to be replaced. We got a backhoe that needs to be replaced and stuff like that, so, that would be a good time for the capital outlay note to do a lot more projects.
One thing I just want to mention on that, in the past, when I've watched capital outlays and we go and weed in somewhere in the county, you do a scorched earth and you do all the roads at the same time, then they still come up needing repair at the same time. Whereas if you can do it kind of on a rotation, then theoretically you're staying you're staying in front of the 8 ball rather than having them all come up at one time.
Yeah, the only thing that I can't help but think, every year that we don't pave those roads, they get more and more behind the 8 ball. You know, if a road may cost us $100,000 to fix today, 3 years from now, it may cost $450,000 to fix because of drainage or, but I'm not an engineer. I don't.
You know, one thing I think would help our road more than anything is having it milled down, like they do the interstate before they pave them. Right now, our roads, we're capping on top of a cap. If we could have those milled down and take a layer out, not only would it smooth the roads up until we got them paved, but it would give the asphalt something to bond to, and I think even last a lot longer. If you'll see now, a lot of our potholes are just a 2-inch layer popping out, where it would put right on top of another one. So,
I agree, because I know a house on 6th Street where we just put pavement on top of pavement on top of pavement, we've run all the water into their garage,
no.
The alley. I'll get with you.
Okay,
We've run all the water in there, because it just keeps, the road level keeps rising.
We looked at a milling machine to go in front of a skid steer. But, that we could do ourselves, but I'd like to find someone, that could come in and do it, because they can, reuse that asphalt, and that's reason I'd really love to see something like that.
Second, Leon's motion on the 5 paving projects before us here.
Do we have one question for a vote, do we have any other estimates? Do we have any other?
No, that's the only estimate I have. I've reached out for another one, and I haven't got it back yet. So,
We historically have never been able to meet the price of the highway department.
But it's a lot higher than typical. Isn't it? It's higher than it normally is.
it is. I mean, it's
Significantly.
so a couple of the streets are higher than they were 2 years ago when we had the estimates done on them, and and then we got the worst streets. So not a significant amount, but to me, every penny is goes a little bit further. So
What's your recommendation?
I would like to get started, and so can I take it? Hold on a second. This important not call. I'm sorry. Stand reset.
see, he's just running your time, Mark.
I'm done.
Sure.
I needed that 5 minutes ago.
But the good thing is we get more.
Right.
Let's just run it down the wrong road here.
Well, it's quick, I'm sorry, hey, the tape, I've been at confessing it, so I had to take it, so.
So you're square with your bookie then?
Oh, is this Monday night? I'm sorry, but I wish we had something else to compare this to, you know, so, but the highway department has been very good to us. And, you know, we have about a $40,000 truck over there that they donated to the town too, so. But,
Call for the question.
okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Next item is, I'm gonna switch around here. Marty?
Yes, thank you. Well, thank you, Conway, for putting me on the agenda for tonight at the last minute.
You just barely made it, cause I was in the process of typing it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And here's the folder, and you know why I'm here.
Miss White, can you come up there one, or Mike's can pick you up?
I will.
City reporter can't type that up. She can't.
You know, a couple months ago, we had a meeting about beautification program for Jasper. And there were a lot of people here interested in getting the town cleaned up. But we can't do that unless the city ordinance is enforced, and it's not being enforced. You know, I've talked to you about a house next to my sister's for the last 6 years. And not this job, but the previous administration. They didn't take care of the problem either. But there's no reason, and it's in the city ordinance, that if people don't clean up their house after you do the process of sending the letter, getting, you know, getting the papers served, getting the judge to sign it, that, you can attach a lien to a property. I mean, if they don't fix it up, and then the city owns the property, then, you know, it's a win for the city. But it's gone on with the properties, and you know which ones they are. And I just wanna know why you wanna enforce it.
Well, Marty, we're enforcing it, but not the way you want it enforced. I'm not taking it to court. I've been over there to talk to Mr. Burns.
I know you have.
And you can see Mr. Burns had, and I'm sorry for him, but he has done a lot to his
He's
house
got
in the last 2 years.
5 cars in his backyard, 5 cars.
Well, I was over there, and I've talked to, Mark about it, and talked to him, and he's in the process of getting them out. And have you been over there to talk to him about this?
It's not my place to
No,
talk
I
to.
know it,
It's the
and,
city's
you know,
place to take care of the situation.
we're trying, we
No,
are doing
no, I
it.
don't think you're trying,
Well,
because I wouldn't keep calling you. You told me to go get pictures of his backyard. I've done that.
Yeah.
I come and talk to him, you say, well, check back, we're getting it done. That's 2 years. It doesn't take 2 years to go through this process to get that problem took away.
The problem, I am working on it, and I think that the town right now, you look at the town right now, at the pieces of property that are what you deem to be unacceptable and an eyesore. I'm gonna tell you, Marty, I used to live in one of those houses that was like that. I was raised up on it.
Well, so it's my
And
grave
so,
down there,
exactly,
right by
right
you on
across
the
the
other side of the
street.
track. Yes, sir.
Exactly. And I was raised up down there, and it's just like that road down there. That road, I can't pave it, because if I pave it, and it's never been paved in my life, but if I pave it, it's gonna be because my mother lived on that road. My
Well,
mother's 89 years old, her birthday. And, you know, but I've lived this, I wanna do it in a way that's diplomatic, give the people an opportunity. I don't wanna drag them into court and make them pay several $100s, make the town pay legal fees and all that, if we can get it done.
but we can't get it done. We've been
Well-
trying for 6 years, we can't get it done. How about Mr. Turner's property down there? What's been done on J.W. Turner's property?
the last 5 years, she's been taking care of her bedridden father, and you know, you know how that's
I know how
going.
it is to take
and
care
so-
of
and
your bedridden
But
father. I do know
the
that.
place is better now than it has been. All the cars are gone except one is being mowed and weed eated and get
Now, which
her.
property are you talking
I'm
about?
talking about the old station.
Okay.
And
Were
it's.
those pictures, did you look at the pictures of all the properties I'm asking about? I'm just not
No,
asking
I'm-
about one, I've got several.
Listen, I tell you, the one on Third Street, and I've talked to, Mark Raines about, that one also, it's in the process. We have permission to go in there and clean that property up, and they're gonna reimburse the town. We're offering to help. We have the equipment to do it, we have the manpower to do it, so we're offering to help. The one on, Highway 41 down there, got permission to go in there and clean that. I've talked to Mark about all of these, and I don't know how many you're looking at, but Turner Place, this place over here, you
The
got.
old trailer with Mike Moore's, and I don't know if that's.
Well, that's the one that
Next
we
to
have,
it,
that's the one we're fixing to start.
Miss Crabtree's house has been sitting like that for years. I mean, I took the pictures, you can look.
Which Crabtree, I don't know.
Well, I don't know who owns it now, but it's Rachel Crabtree.
That's my house,
Huh.
that burnt down, partially burnt, and it is being sold and gonna be rebuilt.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
And
just
within
went
the last
around,
3 months, it's the only time it looked like a duck.
okay.
Yeah,
But, I mean, it's just not bad, it's all over town, but I don't think that you're doing what the process says you should do. I understand about people, I'm willing to help somebody clean up, I would help that man clean up. But you're gonna have to do your part on what the ordinance says.
and I've offered help him, any help that he needs, and, you know, we're willing to give it. And, you know, and all we're asking in return is to reimburse the town for any expense that we may incur. And we've used that once before, it's worked out good. I've got another place on Second Street and on Maple Street that they're supposed to get back with me. I made them the same offer. One is an old house, and the other one is the old block foundation over there on Second Street, Second and Cumberland. You know, we're doing it in a way, we have the manpower, and Marty, I honestly believe, that the town looks better today than it has in several years.
I'm not saying
And
about
so,
the hotel, I'm
but-
saying certain properties that you told me for 6 years you're gonna take care of.
I haven't been here 6 years. I've been working
Well,
on it since I've been
your
here.
Your
Yeah,
previous term,
Yeah.
and then when you
Yeah.
were walking around
Right.
asking for votes.
yes.
And what I told you, I said, Claudette, you need to go talk to Claudette, you
Yeah.
promised her you'd get it cleaned up 4 years ago. And
But-
to this day, it's still.
And the
there.
front, and he cleaned, he made an effort to go in there and clean all the front. Yes,
Go
he
look in
moved
his
it.
backyard. Just go look.
Well, I haven't been in his backyard,
You told me
and
you
I,
took pictures of the
well-
backyard, and I did.
I've seen the backyard from between the two houses. I'm not gonna go unless the man invites me on there. I'll have to
He's
take,
gonna invite you.
so, I believe, he may do it. I'll go back and talk. What he told me, he got rid of one of the vehicles.
In the front yard.
And then he's got another one, they're coming after it, that's in the backyard.
There's five.
And so I know he said
It's fire tag, I mean, it's just, everything the ordinance says is what it is. I mean, I don't think anybody on this board would live next to that house, I really don't. And I'm not trying to be ugly, I'm just tired of you blowing me off about it.
I'm not blowing you off, I've been working on it, and I'm trying to do it in a way that to me, it's better for the people, better for the town, if we can get in and work with them and do it. And I do feel for Claudette, she had to put a fence up, a 6-foot fence up to separate that
I
from.
mean, rats,
and-
the smell, the garbage, you wouldn't live next to it, nobody would.
But,
Well, I just want you to get something done about it. and quit telling me you're gonna do something. That's all I want.
Well,
Do what the ordinance says.
right, well, he,
That's
you know,
what
he
he
says he's in the process of doing it. I'm taking his word, and, Mark, you tell me how long I should give him to,
Mayor, the ordinance doesn't specify a time frame. You know, typically the way, and I know Miss Marty's wanting something done on it right now, I understand that. But even, you know, even if you were cited into court to go through that process, you're probably talking about at least a minimum of 90 days. By the time you get them cited in, that's gonna take a month. Usually the city judge is gonna give them, you know, a couple of months to try to get things cleaned up without the city having to step in. So this is not an overnight process.
Oh, I know that part.
And the city's
But
got,
he knows how long I've been working on
Well,
it, and Leon knows how long I've
the
been
city,
working
I
on
mean,
it.
and here's the other thing, you know, the city, if it has to be a health and safety violation, and I understand, you know, if there's rats and things like that, that's health and safety. But if, you know, the town doesn't have a right to go in and strictly enforce on, you know, on appearance. If we don't have a health safety issue, then we can't go in and tell someone, well, you know, your house is ugly and you need to paint it pink or whatever.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I mean,
That's,
you know, we are still government and folks do still have, you know, private property rights.
I understand
So,
that.
you know, we
It
have
says
to
right here,
make sure that we,
all the things that,
I understand.
The
I'm
cars.
familiar with the ordinance and
Okay.
I understand what it says.
okay.
So, you know, the mayor's been up there and he's trying to resolve it this way, but if it doesn't get resolved, then they get cited into court, city court addresses the situation, then if it, you know, if they still don't comply with it, then we get into the situation where the lien gets imposed on the property and all the bad, really bad things, you know, have to come about. But that takes time.
I know it
That's not
takes
something
time,
that's gonna be
But I've
overnight.
been working on it for a long time.
I understand.
And he said that he had to get it written up, he had to bring it inside.
We did
and then
that.
it had to go to
It's
the
been
issue.
issued, it's been
Okay.
served.
And
So,
then how many days after that, and how long ago has that been?
well, I honestly don't know. The police went up there and served,
Yeah.
to hand delivered the letter. So I suspect that's probably when the front yard got cleaned up.
that's when you clean
You
the
know, I
front
can't
yard
give you a
up.
time frame.
I'm not asking for a time, I'm just saying, it's been long enough on what's going on.
I mean,
When I brought it up to them,
the process is in motion.
and
You
when
know,
should I check back on it?
Marty, I'm gonna tell you, that right there is the letters that I've sent out in the 4 years and certified mail and all, trying to get property cleaned up. There's one right there they tried to serve 3 times and it came back to me. So I'm, gotta find out. But this is what I've been working on since I've been in office. You show me another mayor that's taken this much time to reach out to these people, and I've even gone and mowed 1 yard myself just to keep it, you know, because it's abandoned, can't find a property owner. There's no, the property owners are that were dead, and so no heirs would get back in touch with me. So it's not a, you know, it's not an easy process. But, and I'm telling you, I am trying my best, and Mark can tell you, we've talked about it, and I keep a, you know, log of it to try to, or keep a copy of all of my sermons. I've got some right now, that one, the person lives in Niceville, Florida, or Niceville, whatever, he's going to death. So, but, you know, and a lot of it, if people would just, you know, get the grass cut and, you know, it's like that. And like I said, I've had several people in town call me about an abandoned house, somebody just go off and leave it. I go and find out who mortgage company or who owns it. Then I send them a letter, just like the one on College Street, the little blue house. Did that, got them, they finally came and cleaned it up, you know, so I'm constantly trying to do this, and you know, and I, like I said, I've known you all your life, and grew up, your grandparents down there, knew them, so, but, you know, everybody's home is their castle, doesn't matter what it looks like. And, you know, and I want to work with them, and because I would want that same the same kind of courtesy extended to me. Come, come work with, you got a problem, let's work it out and try to keep it out of court or anything like that, because that's a no-win situation for anybody, and,
But if you live next door to it,
yeah.
you would not, you would not be that patient, you would not,
Right,
you would not be like that.
yeah,
As,
but,
as a property owner, not a mayor,
right. Oh, I would,
you
and,
would be.
you know, I would have done the same thing that I did. If you need some help, I'll come do you, I'll come help you, whatever you need, and,
I would just like, for y'all to get something done on it, and I'll sit back.
I promise you, I am working on it, and, and like I said, I was gonna go talk to Claudette this past weekend, but I've had so much stuff going on, Claudette, I'm sorry for not keeping you informed on it, so, and I apologize for you having to live next to it, but we are working on it, I promise you that, and, and trying to do it in a way, and, so, it will benefit everybody, and I hope it does.
Well, I hope it does too, because I'll be back, and I'll do that on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I expect no less.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just have a question. If we can't enforce it, what's the point of the code?
We can enforce it, it just takes time.
Well, I know
There's a process.
you had mentioned it had to be health and nuisance, but the code says if you don't mow the grass, if you have crash, if you have vehicles.
That all falls back to the health and safety aspect of it. If you don't cut your grass, rats, snakes, if you don't keep your pool maintained, frogs will get in it, mosquitoes, it all ties back in to the health and safety aspect. Junk cars sitting there with weeds going up, freeze rats. So, from that aspect, the city has every right to go in and govern on that area. If it's a situation where, they don't really, trim their yard the way you like it, or maybe they don't trim, we don't get in it. We don't enforce,
But if it's knee high,
true, and as long as the city can justify, that it's a health and safety violation, which knee-high grass is, it's gonna breed rats, it's gonna have snakes, it's gonna have all those things that we don't want, that, affect the other surrounding property owners and the town. We can regulate that, we have a right to govern that, so, and that's what our ordinance addresses.
How
the
do
health and
we-
safety aspect.
because this is a problem.
It is.
This is a problem, and that's why I brought it up, and people are not happy about it. How do we who do we get to enforce the code?
If we can't.
How do we get this, for lack of a better word, how do we get the monkey off the mayor's back?
Well, if we can't get them to voluntarily comply, then the city issues an ordinance violation citation, gets brought into city court. The city judge has the authority to issue a $50 per day fine for every day of violation that is in violation of the code. By the time that, gets brought in, that can be substantial. The city that can then impose a lien on the property.
But I'm talking about the individual that can, I get it.
We can't lock them up.
No, I'm talking about the individual who, I get this, it's hard. You take somebody you're friends with 70 years, 60 years, it's hard to go down there and say, hey, look, your yard's a mess. You need to I get it. But that one bad house doesn't give the right to lower the value of the other 19 houses on that street.
No, it doesn't.
And I get it.
But
And
that's the mechanism how the city,
But how do, right now, the mayor has to enforce the code?
well, it's not actually.
Or is it
mayor
the building
that
inspector?
It's actually, I think, the police chief is. where
Police
it goes.
chief is where it's, and as far as this ordinance goes right here, and according, or this one particular up there, the biggest, violation he has right now is vehicles in the backyard not being, proper, or tagged. He says some of them run, but,
Let me clarify one point too, because you brought up the building inspector. The building inspector gets involved if the structure itself is unsound and unsafe and unsanitary. The yard and the curtilage around the property, that's, police chief's responsibility. If we got an unsafe structure that, may fall in, it's dangerous, then the building inspector has a right to go in and actually condemn that property. So it's two different situations. One involves a structure, one involves the yard.
But the biggest issue right here, I think, is the vehicles in the backyard are not tagged. The registration not up to date. That's a part of that ordinance that could be enforced and,
If he registers,
I still think we need a committee
so.
that acts just like planning commission, just like this board, that individuals can go to or can oversee it, that addresses this issue, because it is an issue. And it goes back to, we have CEOs and business executives flying in the airport and having to come to the courthouse, and they're looking to invest $3 million here. They gotta drive to a junkyard. You think they're gonna spend their $3 million here? I don't think they will. I mean, it not only does it negatively affect property value, it also hurts our chances of getting new business. And I agree. And I don't know what the solution is.
one thing about, there's nothing wrong, I understand about the committee process. You know, that's up to the board, if that's what you're gonna implement. But they would be just like the planning commission, they wouldn't have any regulatory authority. They would
I
make
agree.
recommendations to this board, and this board would have to vote to enact, you know, whatever their.
It wouldn't work unless the board wanted it.
Let me get this straight. I was under, my impression on the litter, the beautification thing was about litter, because that's what it was all about, so. you're
Well, there were
looking at-
several points in there, you know, I think there were.
And
I don't
I'm
have
ready for you to,
I don't have it with me, but,
Yeah.
you know, it gave the committee the power to sit down and to say, these are trouble spots in our town. Is that not the way you read it? I mean,
That's fine.
these are the trouble spots in our town that we need to work on.
That gets referred to the board for action.
That gets to refer to the board for action. But if the board doesn't want it, it doesn't do any good. I mean, it just falls on deaf ears.
and, you know, Ms. Turner is, having people look at putting a view roof on it, and, you know, on the station out there. And I'm gonna tell you, I would love to see it restored, like the one in Calvin. And because it's part of the history of downtown Jasper. That's the only one that's left. And, you know, and we used to have one, about every block away, you know, down to right, probably from where, or from the old KO, we probably had 10 stations out to Mr. Turner's out there on both sides of the road. And it's just like there's one place down there next to where we grew up that used to be a Native American spring. It was a little park. Had a rock wall built around it. The foundation, it was probably 4 feet tall, had steps going in it, go down the inside of it. It was filled in. Why? I don't know, because it could have been well, I know why, because nobody maintained it. And it started growing up. So instead of going in there and trying to preserve a part of the history of this town, put the dirt in on top of it, cover it up. And now it cannot be restored, you know? But that would, you know, and we carried water from basically that, one of those streams, the springs came out down there. That's how we got our water to drink, to cook, to bathe. It came out of a stream down there. And so, you know, up until the 70s, you know, or up in the mid-60s is when we got plumbing in our house. So we carried it in there, and when you have 9 children taking baths in a wash tub in the kitchen, heating the water, it takes a lot of water. And you take turns. You take turns carrying it. So, but instead of preserving stuff like that, we have filled it up. And that's one reason I feel strongly about the station. I want to see it preserved because it's part of our downtown history. If it can be restored to look like it was before, you know, is what I'd like to see. But you have my blessing to get started on that, because
Well, again,
I don't have the time.
Sure, but if the board won't listen to the recommendations of it, I don't see the point in doing it. I mean, we're just wasting those people's time, who's gonna stand up and say, yeah, I'll volunteer, but if they bring something to board, we say, well,
Have you brought anything to the board?
Yeah.
Other than
well, just that,
Well, here's what I like to see. I like to see some kind of beautification commission, just like the regional planning commission.
I agree.
Put that together, and, put that in writing, bring it to us.
We had that.
Just talk about it.
That's what he
That's what I
presented
wrote
to
to
the board. and-
February.
Well,
What did you say?
But,
That was mimicked after East Ridge. Now, East Ridge is a bigger town than us. They have the money to enforce, to hire a code enforcement person. This wasn't new to, there were some changes in it to adapt it to a smaller town, but this, it wasn't
See, we
anything
all
new.
want the same thing. We want the town to be
Sure.
nice and neat, clean. So why don't you put it together again, bring it back?
yeah,
I still got it.
All right.
so.
Remember about it next time.
We'll just, I'll put it on the agenda for, next month's meeting.
And I will forward this to you again.
Yeah,
And,
that'd be good if you forward to us before we get to the meeting.
well, the reason I didn't last time, I don't want to violate sunshine law. Somebody make up their mind before they get here. But, if somebody has a better plan, or they have something put to, hey, it don't have to be my idea, as long as it works.
Let me clarify the sunshine law. Sunshine law, if 3 or more people get together and they make a decision, by you making a decision based on the information you
Right.
have in front of you, it's not violation of sunshine law. That's the reason I get the agenda out. I get the agenda out, try to get it to you on Friday, so that you have a chance to study. If you have any questions, then call.
Forgive me, I'm green.
So,
I'm young.
But I, this, so, I'm telling you, there've been times we got the agenda the night of the meeting.
I know that. And like I said, if there is something that works somewhere, let's do it.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it has to do too, comfortable to the town of Jasper, and that the same resources, same, demographics as the town of Jasper, and not look at somebody like a East Ridge or Signal Mountain or somebody like, I think it needs to be a town similar to the town of Jasper, so.
And I get that, but we gotta start somewhere.
I,
Gotta start somewhere. Period.
Okay, thank you. Thank you again, Claudette and Marty. Okay, next one, the next item on the agenda is the swearing in of our new city judge. And right now, I'd like to turn it over to Judge Lane and introduce everyone to Missy Thomas Blevins.
I got some help from that too.
Oh,
Lucy's been trying to talk, I think, the whole time she's been here. I think Mama has to do that. All right, Judge, are you ready?
I do, you repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will perform with fidelity the duties of this office
I, Melissa Thomas Blevins, do solemnly swear that I will perform with fidelity the duties of the office
to which I have been appointed,
to which I have been appointed,
and which I am about to assume.
and which I am about to assume.
I do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of Tennessee
I do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of Tennessee
and the United States.
and the United States.
I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully perform the duties of the city of Jasper.
I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully perform the duties of duties of the city judge for the town of Jasper.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. I think this is
retirement, the board would like to present you with this little token of our appreciation for your dedicated service to town. This way you can keep up with the time, the free time that you have.
You clean up some brush up there.
Judd, we've appreciated, I've appreciated working with you, and, you know, you've done the town proud, and appreciate it.
Well, I certainly appreciate the opportunity to serve the city of Jasper, and I'm sure that Alyssa's gonna do a better job probably than I did. I'll include you.
Good.
Say one thing, she's a lot prettier.
No word with
Oh,
that.
the big dogs. Robert's here too.
Congratulations, Missy.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much, I appreciate it. That's what I was sitting here thinking, when I was listening to y'all talk, I was like, this is gonna be fun. You're all the grown ones back here.
So,
Yeah. Thank you.
Judge, you don't have to feel
thank
it.
you, Judge.
You think you can wear that robe?
I don't think I can feel his shoes.
Next item on the agenda is report with Carolyn.
Okay. On the eclipse day, August 21st, they got 350 glasses at no charge, and we could have given out 1,000 more on their visa. And then we want to thank the generous donation from Chattanooga Bakery and Justin for getting to do us boom pies that we gave to our patron on the eclipse. It attaches a copy of the article of the August 29th issue of the Jasper Journal about our plans to open the Citizen Center in the library. And man, it's gonna be something. They're just waiting to start because they're so excited about it. And other stuff is not very important. And we were voted best city library in the county this time. And we had, the governor's wife has a thing about, the summer reading program. She had a program too. And we had 3 children, send the stuff in and read books. And 2 of the girls out of 100 in the county, in the state, won. And they got a dinner with the governor's wife in Nashville and all. But that's pretty good too, by kids out of just 100.
Oh, well, yeah, really good.
Yeah. And, total circulation, 5,571, 621 computer users, 487 wireless users, 23 new cars issued, 4,243 people came in, and we answered 419 questions.
And financial statements in the back.
Yeah. But I've gotten, large print bingo cards and large print cards, and I'm getting, large print puzzles and different stuff, and somebody suggested getting a Wii thing to go on the computer so that they can play with it. I've gotten a lot of good ideas, I'm ready to go.
Thank you, and I know it'll be good. Thank you.
Just hope I have enough room.
Oh, you will, you'll make it work, so. Thank you,
How's that
Miss Carolyn.
storage space you're gonna get me?
So,
You didn't think I was gonna let a Wii go by that mentioned it.
We do appreciate it. Next is, and you can, next is our park and animal.
Yes, sir. The fall recreational and baseball and softball league is going to include 19 teams this year. And games will be played every Monday and Tuesday, starting September 18th. We had a busy month mowing and general field maintenance. over the weekend, we hosted a girls USFA qualifying tournament. And, we had a large crowd, and it was a great success. Had teams from all over our state of Tennessee, including, and also from Georgia, Alabama, and Kentucky. And we still have a tournament scheduled September 23rd and 30th coming up this month. And also, I want to thank Gentry Chevrolet. They made another donation of $500 to us. This money was given for having test drives during their opening day last April. This brought this year's total to $1,000. So I want to thank Lee Belk and Gentry Chevrolet for the continued support of our youth baseball and softball programs. And also, the fence around the playground has been started after several delays due to weather. The posters set, and we're just as soon as we get cleared, I'd say, by this week, it should be done. Animal control, we had 14 different calls. We had 5 animals in the pound and 2 animals returned to owner this month. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jasper.
Do a great job.
Street sanitation,
Yeah, for the month of August, we picked up 139.22 tons of garbage with a disposal fee of $4,037.38. We still cutting grass at the library and the city hall, changed 4 traffic light bulbs, put in 4 street lamp bulbs around the square, which I still gotta put a ballast in one that's burned up the other day. And with the help of the water in the streets cleaned out the 2 bridge tubes on the North Fire Cove Bridge up there. And we're still picking up brush around town, patching potholes, and put all new clamps on the flag brackets around the squares. The others was starting to break off, so it was put in rubber and the moisture stayed in there and never dried out, so I left that off. So then we've been bush hogging when we can. That's about it.
thank you, Ronnie. Y'all doing a good job. Next is, Chris Fire Department.
For the fire department, we had a very slow month in August, we only had 7 calls, which we got some well-needed rest after our July, but other than running, maintenance on trucks, running fire calls, we pretty much didn't do anything extraordinary for the month of August.
Thanks, Bob. No water usage.
No.
Next, police.
For the month of August, we had 240 violations that was issued. Crashes 8, number of roadway crashes, injuries was 2, private property crashes was 12, total number of calls was 422. As you can tell, we had a very busy month with 422 calls for service. The police department was able to solve several cases this month. On the monthly report, there was 65 burglaries of vehicles, 53 thefts of property under $500. These cases are from 3 individuals from Chattanooga who went through Gamble subdivision area of town and stole items, rummaging through people's vehicles which were unlocked. We have 3 individuals in jail, and we're able to recover 3 handguns that were stolen, $100 in change that had been stolen from people's cars. During the course of the interview of the 3 individuals, we were able to contact Collegedale Police Department, South Pittsburgh Police Department, and Kimball, where the suspects were responsible for over 200 vehicle burglaries. Based on the information gained through these arrests, the 15 vandalism arrests, there was also 15 vandalism arrests are part of an investigation that occurred about 6 months, and 3 different suspects were arrested for shooting out windows with a pellet rifle. These arrests led to cases being solved in Marion County, Kimball, and South Pittsburgh. We would also like the board to approve the interlocal cooperation agreement with the 12th Judicial Drug and Violent Crime Task Force. This agreement basically states that we will work with them and they with us. This agreement is supposed to be re-signed every few years, and we thank you for your support.
You can mark you. And this, we haven't, had this in the past, so.
Make the motion, we sign the interlocal cooperation agreement with 12th District Drug Task Force.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion, a second to, approve the interlocal cooperation agreement with 12th Judicial Drug Task Force. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Does anybody else have anything? I've got some information in there on some training coming up, so.
We can't do anything about this right now. And I know East Brattle Switch Road, if you talk about primary and secondary streets, it probably wouldn't qualify as a secondary street, but at some point, we're going to have to, those people down there pay taxes too, and that road is, it's probably the worst one in Jasper. And I realize it's not traveled a whole lot, but it's at the point now, something's going to have to be done with it.
Well, that's, Ronnie and I've been down there, we've looked at that road, and in a couple of places, we're just gonna have to dig it out and put down crush and run. I had that price to, resurface that road from, right there at, Curve to Industrial Boulevard, a little over $100,000.
How many people live on that?
5, so. It's, you know, so there is some, you know, it's travel, but I think once we go in there and just dig some places out, put down some new crush run, milling or whatever, and pull our ditches back again. That's another thing we've got to do is keep the ditches clean for the water to run under the road instead of over the road, and I think that'll make a big difference. But we've looked at that, and like I said, Bunny, that's one of those that is gonna have to be done a little at a time and do what we can to with what we have there, so.
That's all I've got.
Yeah. We stand adjourned.